going on, Trenton Thunder fans? Welcome to Feel the Thunder, the bi-weekly official podcast of the Trenton Thunder. John Wagner alongside Jeff Hurley.
Trying to keep it bi-weekly.
Trying to keep it bi-weekly. We've been good so far. We've been good so far. Just one adjustment, and that was due to the Goldens announcement that we had last week that we has gotten a lot of positive feedback, which we're really excited about. We knew that people would be excited about it. Who doesn't love Goldens? Who doesn't love new merch? I know my phone was blowing up. I'm sure yours the same.
Yep.
Went over well. We had the event at the ballpark that night. We've seen countless people rocking the gear. Tom McCarthy and Greg Caserta, Dan Schweck, obviously wearing it out in the community. So we had the Goldens, but we've had, it's just been busy
and
all the time.
Our friend TJ with Barstool, they were able to open it on their show. So it's been great. And I think the fun part was seeing people actually come to the ballpark for that event we had on release day and being in the store and physically seeing it and being able to buy it. It was really cool to see people walking around looking at all the merch. And it was a lot of fun that whole entire week of the release. We knew it was going to do well, but I think and Ben shared with us all the positivity on our social media channels, everybody liking the logo. So kind of gives you a job well done.
Sure. Especially, we talked about it, a week or so ago, just like how long this build-up was and how long we've known it. And, former Thunder alumni that I've had an opportunity to talk with, it goes back even further. Like we mentioned, the drawings are for 2013. So it's been out there. I know, Mike Kearns has wanted to see this for a long time. Chris Foster wanted to see this for a long time. So it's fun, for it to finally be out there. It's also nice to have, a few extra things to wear to work.
Yeah, I've been wearing my fleece a lot, so I changed it up and went back old school.
I'm all golden up today. I'm rocking the polo. I'm rocking the pullover. Ben, I don't think, is taking off that golden baseball sweatshirt.
No. I really like that one, too. I like that sweatshirt. I may have to
I've been
grab that.
spreading out my buys. I bought this the morning of the Goldens release to wear to a chamber event, and then I've since then bought my family some stuff, and I bought myself a few things. But we've got some golf tournaments coming up where we're going to be rocking the Goldens. It's it's getting the brand out.
It's a tough job. It's a tough job.
It's really challenging.
And now it's like the Goldens was released, and now it's like because we have such a nice pipeline of alternate identities, it's now on to brainstorming for 2025. Hard to believe, but that's kind of where we're going now.
Yeah, it's fun. We talked about that, and it had been a while since we had released pork roll into the market, and we did Trueno for Copa a few years back. But this is something that really it took on a brand of its own. And it's nice to see the new gear, and I think we talked about it. The thing that excites me the most is the new color scheme, being able to see not just navy and the yellow out there, but some new colors. So really looking forward to that. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of positive feedback. Wearing those jerseys twice this year, and obviously the tradition that we have with our Bad Dogs. That's what we talked about. We talked about there's just a lot going on at the ballpark. People are constantly asking us, well, what do you do in the off season? And this off season has really been about I hate to say dragging things out. That kind of puts a negative a spin on it, but keeping people anticipating what's next and what's going on, and as we build up to June 4th.
Yeah, it's keeping it fresh too. You want the store to always have a new look, so when people continue to come to games or shop, that they find something new. And this is what the Goldens offer. It's something that they haven't seen before. And when our fans come opening night, June 4th, they'll be able to see all new, not just Goldens gear, but Thunder gear. They'll be able to see the new line of what Victoria's done within the store. And so it's just keeping it fresh, new fun ideas to keep our fans involved and waiting for that next one. And I think we've started that, and the tradition will continue each and every year of how can we continue to keep things fresh and keep people on their toes of, what are Thunder going to do next? Yeah.
And it's been a busy time around here. Obviously the traditional 9 to 5 workday is quickly evaporated.
Yeah.
That doesn't really exist anymore. We're constantly working, constantly having events here at the ballpark. It was another jam-packed schedule over the weekend. Starting on Friday, we hosted Wagner for a 3-game sweep, which was great to see. In a little bit, the fans will hear from Eric Reardon, Wagner's pitching coach, and I asked him about Wagner feeling at home at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. They played, 9 games here, I believe 2 years ago it was. And they had a great success. I think they only lost one. I think they went 8 out of 9 wins there. This year, only 1 loss, and that was the doubleheader, so kind of out of whack.
Yeah.
For that day, and a couple blowouts. I think they won one game 11-1. They won 8-0 yesterday. I know Eric, shared his thoughts about why he feels that Wagner plays well here. But it's fun to see because when you play 6 games, 9 games, it's not just them feeling at home. It's kind of, I know our staff and Liz, being on music and video, it's familiar faces, and you kind of get attached to the guys.
Yeah, you want to see them do well, and you never know down the line. Some of these guys from Wagner and the teams that they're bringing in, they could be playing in the draft league, so it's cool to see. But yeah, it's glad to see Wagner have such success. I was kind of following on X, not Twitter, X, and I saw that yesterday they had swept Lemoyne, so that was cool to see. And I guess they went 5-1 this round of games here, so it's cool. And with Wagner, they're doing on-field BP with the teams, and so it does bring you back to our season's coming close to and seeing all the action. We had the job fair on Saturday as well, so we had a lot of things going on. We had the fun tarp at as a staff at 9 a.m. And it poured here, so I'm glad we did tarp. Yeah. But there was a lot of action. We'll continue having more action. We have the TCNJ game on Thursday that was moved from their original date, so that'll be a fun game. They seem to always have a good amount of students and staff here. And then we have another college game on Friday as well, so getting the college games in.
Jeff, we talked a lot about the ongoings, but something that was released on Monday as we record, pretty much just going out about a half hour ago. We talk all the time about our community initiatives. We talked for a while with Dan Schweck with the Miracle League and that partnership and how that has grown over the years. Obviously, we're very well integrated into the local Chamber of Commerce, and this is another opportunity for us to partner with a local organization, the Rescue Mission of Trenton, and their New Directions culinary program. I think we were at an event. Probably coming up on a year ago now.
Yeah, it was their mini golf event.
Yeah, a fundraiser right at the mission.
Yep.
Yeah. And Chef Jeff Henderson was taking part there. And it just got the wheels spinning on, we do so much, obviously, with our food and beverage here at the ballpark on, how can we bring this experience that we had at mini golf over to the ballpark?
Yep.
Specifically on our suite level. So we're excited to announce a partnership with the Rescue Mission, a partnership with the New Direction program, where they're going to be coming over, taking over our suite level for a night. All 15 suites, as well as the Prime Point Club. The meal will be prepared by Chef Jeff and their students of the New Horizons program, and it's a fundraiser for the Rescue Mission.
Yep.
We're excited to get Barrett Young, their CEO, out here to the ballpark. We have a pretty heavy hitters list of VIP that will be in our Prime Point Club. Excited to show off this program to really help make a difference in these people's lives. Yeah. And what Barrett's doing over there is inspiring. And I'm sure we'll have Barrett on at some point to talk more about not just this event, but what he's got going on. Chef Jeff. Yeah. If you haven't, if you don't know who Chef Jeff is, just Google him.
Yeah.
Awesome Impressive. Story. Makes phenomenal food. But excited to get this program again. Something we've been working behind the scenes on, and excited to get this game out there.
Yeah, I think when we went to that event, you came up with the idea of how can we do something in conjunction with the Rescue Mission, raise awareness, raise some funds as well, and we came across this program that they were talking about at the mini golf with Chef Jeff, and so we sat down with Barrett. We were able to get a tour of the Rescue Mission and just come up with this idea. And now, after months and months of talking, it's finally out there, but. It's going to be. I was able to attend the last graduation of this program, and it was very, heartfelt, and it's just a great thing that we're doing, partnering with the Rescue Mission to raise this awareness and be able to serve some of this good food that they're creating. And I'm excited on July 23rd to see this program go to work at the ballpark, and even in the Prime Point Club with our VIPs, Chef Jeff and some of the students are going to be doing live demonstrations. So it's exciting, and Barrett does a great job over there at the Rescue Mission. They're certainly a friend of ours and of the Trenton Thunder, and it's just an exciting program to bring to the ballpark. And raise awareness for the Rescue Mission.
Yeah, so just to recap, obviously you can find all this information at TrentonThunder.com. But you mentioned Tuesday, July 23rd. It's a 7 o'clock game. Gates will open for our suite holders at 5:30. And like I mentioned, it's going to be in all 14 single suites, as well as our Fanatics Clubhouse and the Prime Point Club for our VIPs and the Rescue Mission with the live demonstrations. But fans will be able to enjoy a delicious menu, and I'm hesitant to read this off here as we're recording at 10:30 in the morning because it's not quite lunchtime yet. But braised barbecue brisket sliders with melted jalapeno jack cheese, and then New Orleans jambalaya, shrimp, chicken, and sausage. We'll have a vegetarian option available. Yeah. And then the VIP room, they're going to be cooking up duck fat scallops and spicy corn sausage mix. So really excited for that menu.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. So really excited for that event. And like I said, some of the proceeds for each suite are going to go right back to the Rescue Mission, but we're going to be doing some creative things on the suite level to help them raise additional funds. Barrett and Chef Jeff will be going from suite to suite to inform the suite holders that night just about what's going on. Yep. So that we kicked it off Monday morning with the announcement, but tickets for that event will officially go on sale Monday, April 29th. This week here, the board of the Rescue Mission will get first kind of right of refusal for a suite for that event. So they'll get their first chance, as well as some other VIPs that we may be looking to bring out. But 10 o'clock on April 29th, the remainder suites will be available. And it's just, again, another opportunity for not only us, but our fans to support a local community-based organization and really make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, we bought our suite as well, so we're going to be able to invite some of our sponsors and partners. But yeah, it's all about, we continue, as we were meeting with Barrett and Chef Jeff, we continue to just say the awareness part of making what this program is doing, making people aware of what's going on, and hopefully that equals them opening their pockets and making donations to the Rescue Mission. But certainly excited. I mean, that menu sounds amazing. I can't wait to try it. And if it's as good as what the food was at the mini golf event, they're going to be all right.
And if you haven't seen it yet, go on our social and watch the video that we put together for the release itself. Liz and I got to go to the Rescue Mission and interview not just the people in charge of the Rescue Mission, but the people in the New Directions program and what it means to them and what it's done for their lives. And they sounded really excited to come here and continue the program.
Yeah, Jeff, you mentioned like the awareness piece being such a big part of this. I think, just since we've developed the idea of this event, obviously we've known Barrett, we've known the Rescue Mission in Trenton, but it was really not until that mini golf outing that I knew, some of the details of this New Horizons program. Liz and Ben getting the opportunity to go over and hear more about their stories, is really cool. It's eye-opening. There's just so much going on in our community that we can use our platform to bring light to. Yeah. And that's what I'm excited about as well, because, people probably drive by the Rescue Mission every day and just know it for what it is or know it based on perception. But now we're bringing, a new light to what they do and putting it on display for our fans. And again, you mentioned the food, but also just the behind the scenes of what's going on. And I think that is going to be the most impactful piece for the fans that are in attendance in the suites that night, is going to be that 5, 10, 15-minute interaction with Chef Jeff and Barrett in their suites. And I think they're going to be open to. But, a little sneak peek with the video that Liz and Ben put together, and I think it's really going to grab a hold of some people.
Yeah, and getting to know Barrett more and more. He's been around the rescue mission
Yep.
for a long time with his mom as the former CEO. So we've been able to, and me being with the Thunder, I knew a little bit of the rescue mission, but not everything, and just being able to communicate with Barrett and him tell us stories and give us the background of the rescue mission. It was great to hear and listen and learn, and now we get to be a part of something and make this event at the ballpark a great piece and partnership between the Thunder and rescue mission. So certainly excited to get this going, excited to try the food, excited to bring this to the ballpark and be able to have some of our fans be a part of it as well.
Yeah, and one last piece of news before we head over to our interview with Eric Reardon, the pitching coach of the Wagner Seahawks. We announced our own coaching staff.
We did. Yeah.
We haven't even touched on that. A few familiar faces and one new one. Obviously, we about a month or so ago, probably a little bit longer at this point, announced our manager Adonis, who will be rejoining our Thunder staff. Now elevated to the manager position. But we're excited to see some familiar faces. Sean Chacon returning for his third season, 2.5 as pitching coach.
Yeah, it'll be his third. Yeah.
Sean, obviously a part of our Thunder family and history, obviously pitching for the Trenton Thunder in years past, and his major league career with the Yankees, Pirates, Rockies. Matt Sweeney, another familiar face, and then our hitting coach. Coming over from Williamsport.
Yeah, Ron.
So we're excited to have him join our team, and it'll be great. And Adonis, formerly also from Williamsport, having the experience of a staff that has been here before, so it's nice, to have familiar faces to the Thunder, but also the draft league itself.
Well, I think that's one of the big things is obviously within minor league baseball and the coaches that continue to come back. You don't see that very often. We were lucky back in the day with Tony Franklin here for 8 seasons, but usually it's 1, maybe 2 years, and we're going on. Obviously, Adonis's first year, he follows Jeff Manto, but second year with the Thunder, first year as manager, and then having Sean back for the third season. He also rehabbed here back in his Yankee days. Matt Sweeney, who's obviously a friend of the organization, but going on his second year here. Ron's been in the league for a couple years. It'll be his first year in Trenton, but Williamsport played here quite a bit, so Ron is familiar with the ballpark and the organization, and it's exciting to have these guys. They all have a great professional background, and then great coaching experience as well to bring to the first half and the second half. And what Sean did with that pitching staff in the first half. I think we had 8 guys, 8 pitchers drafted, and then we were able to get a couple guys through Matt's reign signed as free agents. So looking forward to see our rosters. Hopefully we'll be out soon, or at least we'll have an idea of who we may or may not have, and then we'll slowly release that to the public as they get deeper into college season. As those rosters get more concrete. But yeah, we're almost there. It's hard to believe. May's right around the corner, so you got the manager, you got the coaching staff, soon to be players, and we'll be playing baseball here.
Now we just need the fans.
Thunder soon.
Yeah, and it's coming. June 4th will be here before we know it. But it's a busy time here, so I think the people want to hear from Eric. So let's kick it over to our interview with Eric Reardon, the pitching coach of the Wagner Seahawks. Excited to be here with Eric Reardon, the pitching coach for the Wagner Seahawks, who have made a home away from home here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. So Eric, first off, thank you for carving out a couple minutes to talk to me and the Thunder fans that are listening in, but excited to have you on.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. Definitely excited to be here. Always excited to come down to the ballpark here in Trenton and spend time on the awesome field you guys put together for us. So.
Yeah, we were chatting a little bit before we started today. You're a Jersey kid. You went to Rutgers, so you spent a lot of time in the Garden State. It has to be exciting to come to Trenton Thunder Ballpark and now in your professional career, taking and being here with Wagner.
100%. Yeah, for me as a Jersey guy, grew up coming and watching Trenton Thunder games and being in this ballpark as a fan, and then my earliest memory here as a player was actually getting to be in a home run derby here after my junior year of high school. So getting to come back here and coach the guys and make mound visits and be on the field as a coach is something that's really cool.
So I got to ask, you spent most of your career as a pitcher. How'd you do in the home run derby?
So I made it to the finals.
Okay.
I hit 4. I went first. The guy that wound up beating me hit 32 home runs. His name's Nolan Jones. He plays first base for the Rockies now.
Yeah, so, he's a little well known.
Yeah, he turned out all right.
That's awesome. So you weren't here the last time. You're first year pitching coach at Wagner, but Wagner spent some of the couple seasons ago, played about 9 games here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark, had really good success. You're seeing that again here today. Funny coincidence, or does the team find some type of semblance of home when they're here in Trenton?
Yeah, I think what makes us really fortunate is whether we go between home on Staten Island in the ballpark that the Ferry Hawks play in, or here where you guys treat us so well at the Thunder Ballpark, is the guys get to feel like big leaguers. Here we got access to the clubhouse and the batting cages underneath, and then obviously the playing surface is awesome, dugouts are awesome, so it allows us, we're super fortunate that we get that carryover feel. And not for nothing, being a Jersey guy, I bring my guys into Jersey, they better know what that attitude's about. So it's been an awesome combo.
So you spent your playing career at Rutgers, and now you're first year pitching coach, like I mentioned, at Wagner. What has the transition been like for you in just a quick turnaround, going from being on the field, playing it, every day, every 5 starts, to now influencing the next group of collegiate players, the next draft picks? What's that transition been like for you?
I always say that I was super fortunate as a player. In my time at Rutgers, I was lucky enough to have 3 different pitching coaches. Mm-hmm. So throughout my playing career, people would always ask me, isn't it a challenge to have a different voice every couple of years in the dugout? But my perspective as a player was always, and what I've been able to carry over to coaching is, I was able to gain information from 3 different great pitching minds, and kind of being able to blend that into my own style and communication type with the guys that I have on my staff, I think is something that gave me an awesome foundation, and it allows me to be relatable and kind of get my message across to a bunch of different personalities all pulling towards the same goal on a pitching staff.
So speaking of your guys, we'll touch a little bit on yesterday's game. Obviously a big win for the team, but you had to be happy about Frankie Wright in the start.
Yes.
Another Jersey guy. You had to be happy with what you saw yesterday.
Yeah, 100%. Frankie went out there, and even on a day where he didn't have his best stuff from the outset, he settled in and had an outing that reflects the type of talent and the type of work ethic and perseverance that he carries with him. So I think his attitude on the mound speaks to his Jersey guy type of mentality, but I think Frankie put himself in a position yesterday where he dropped his conference ERA below 2, and he's got 4 wins in conference, 5 wins in conference now after yesterday. So he's been on a really good roll here. He works his tail off to make sure he can stay at a really high level, and it's awesome to see him reap the reward of that with a good performance like he had last night.
And we have 2 more games at Trenton Thunder Ballpark, obviously just a couple hours away from first pitch here today. As you continue on through this weekend, how are you feeling about the pitching staff, moving forward through the weekend, and what's the outlook for Wagner, the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think we have a ton of really talented guys on our staff. We have a ton of good leadership, and we have a ton of guys that work really hard. So it makes me fortunate as a pitching coach where we have guys that have some super ability. It makes me really fortunate that I have guys with leadership mentalities, guys like Frankie Wright and Connor Hayden and Alec Burnett and Julian Chabot that go out there and kind of give direction to the younger guys and set a really good example for the younger guys to follow. And it all goes back to that work ethic where these guys are getting after it day in and day out. I don't really have to hold their hand. I just kind of lay out the path for them, and they do what they're supposed to do. So I felt really fortunate about the guys I have, and that gives me a lot of trust as a pitching coach in their ability to go out there and execute, trust what they have, trust their preparation, and get the job done.
So, managing a pitching staff and managing, just being at the collegiate level, you're still early in your career, but NIL has had such an impact on college athletics. And that's probably a year-to-year thing, dealing with new guys coming in, watching guys leave. Obviously, as an outsider, and our fans can probably relate most to college football, college basketball, and just the transfer portal and the impact that that's had on football and basketball. Can you speak a little bit to what it's like on the baseball level? Because it's not, it's not as in the media.
Right.
How has it impacted, you guys and Wagner and the college baseball showcase?
I think NIL is a big deal because it's been a long time coming where these college athletes need the ability to get some money profiting off of their name, their image, their likeness, stuff like that. So for them to have that opportunity is great, whether it's from the apparel that's got their name and number on it to anything with these brand deals and commercials. So for those guys to have that opportunity is an awesome thing for them. I think how it relates to us in baseball is transfer portal, like you mentioned. So our culture and our environment that we try to set up is a place where we're going to put a serious emphasis on development. We have a guy like Ryan Bilka who was a weapon out of the bullpen for us the second he came to campus. He's continued to work hard in our environment of development and put himself in a position where he's become a really successful starter for us on the weekend. So, Ryan's one of a number of names that we have of guys that are examples on our team, but I think we have that pitch that we make, we have that environment and that culture that we try to set up here where guys want to be at Wagner. We went through the recruiting process, guys always talk about finding a place that's a good fit. We want to make sure we're as good a fit for the player as the player is for us, and then when we can have that mutually beneficial relationship where we're worried about you as a player, as a student, and as a person, and we can focus on development and continuing to get you better. Our calling card is that we want guys who want to be here and we want to create a culture that they want to be in. So we're certainly thankful for the opportunities that our guys have, and we want to just create a place for them here at Wagner where they enjoy it and they want to stay and continue to succeed in the green and white.
Awesome. Do you feel any outside pressures as a coach, making sure a guy gets enough innings, making sure that, you're developing them? Obviously you want to take them to the next level. But, in this day and age, like with the portal, guys going in and out, is there an added level of pressure to make sure that the guys are staying happy, or is that just totally something that's just out of your control?
I think in general, you want to create an environment where your players are going to enjoy their time on your team. So I don't know how much the transfer portal and NIL has impacted that other than putting it into the public eye. I think the goal should always be to create an environment of success and hard work and development while also figuring out a way to work enjoyment into that formula as well. So I think other than just this nature of guys jumping into the transfer portal and the nature of the beast that comes with that along with NIL, it doesn't take away from the fact that we should be creating an environment where our kids are having a great time doing it while they're getting better and winning some ball games.
Awesome. So we've touched on Jersey guy, Rutgers. Fun connection between yourself and the Trenton Thunder. You're a former teammate of Chris Brito. Chris, obviously a stud for the Thunder last year. Everyone shocked in this organization, outside of this organization, that Chris went undrafted, in last year's draft. Ended up signing with the Staten Island Ferry Hawks and picked up where he left off in Trenton with his success. Talk a little bit about your time with Chris in college. As we were talking, you played against him in high school. Talk about the development you've seen from Chris, and are you surprised at all to see the success that he's having at the next level?
Yeah, right off the bat, certainly not surprised at all. As long as I've known Chris, he's been an awesome baseball guy who really, really knows how to hit and has some pop in that bat too. So we had the same confusion that everybody around here did, seeing the draft go by, even after his junior year at Rutgers, and him not getting picked up because we all knew how talented he was. And my first memories of Chris are, the all-conference team in the GMC up in Middlesex County, his freshman year, where he's this giant 13 or 14-year-old hitting home runs at the high school level right off the bat. So seeing him do what he's done as successfully as he has for as long as he has, it's so awesome to see him finally get a affiliated ball opportunity, and it's been awesome to see just the different amount of people and fan bases that he's touched along the way as he's succeeded across all levels in our game.
Yeah, it's awesome. And just talking with our former manager Jeff Manto, like the guy can just flat out hit.
Yeah.
And there is room for somebody that can just flat out hit. So We're excited to watch Chris and him continue to go. Eric, I'm curious to hear your outlook on the MLB Draft League as a whole, and the impact that it can have on guys. It's look, the time before the draft, it's quick. June 4th until, the draft in mid-July. But what lasting impact can that have as those guys prep for that July draft?
I think having a centrally located league like that streamlines the process. Obviously, a lot of conversation these days goes into lesser picks in the draft and smaller roster sizes on affiliated teams and minor league teams and a smaller amount of minor league teams. So having a collection of all those guys in one place like the draft league does, I would imagine it makes it easier on the scouts because it's kind of one-stop shopping and they can see all the talent in the same place. And by the same measure, you get to show off your craft against the best guys in your draft class. So there's a ton of really successful summer leagues out there. I got to play in the Northwoods when I was playing. I got to play out in Alaska when I was playing. So there's success and there's talented ball players everywhere, but if the process is going to be streamlined, I think the draft league does a great job of putting a really solid collection of talent in one place where those guys can show off their stuff against who's supposed to be the best in that draft class.
Awesome. I've had the opportunity to get to know Craig Noto a little bit in the time that Wagner's played here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. What's it like, coaching under Craig? What's his kind of outlook on the team? How does he operate? And was it a seamless transition coming over to Wagner and coaching under Craig?
Yeah, I feel super fortunate for getting the position as to be Noto's pitching coach. I was lucky enough my first 2 years after I graduated from playing, I got to work for Connor Cortman at Rutgers Newark as his pitching coach. Roy Cortman, Connor's father, has been the softball coach at LIU for the longest time. Noto, when he was an assistant at LIU, got to know Roy. So from a transition standpoint, it certainly feels pretty seamless, like a big family affair where working my way up through the ranks through some really good connections I've been lucky to make. But it's been great. The standard that Noto sets for his team is super high, and as a young coach, it holds me really accountable to be on top of my preparation, be on top of my development and my plan with the guys. So certainly some high standards. Like we have guys like Frankie Wright and like Connor Hayden who are both fighting that 2.0 line in their ERAs. We got a guy in Alec Burnett that's second in the conference with 4 saves already. And then from a technology standpoint and development standpoint, Noto's given me everything I could have asked for as a coach. We're in on True Media with our scouting reports. We're in on 4D motion to get these guys moving correctly through their mechanics. He raised some money for us to get a TrackMan in the off season, so we're in on the development from the spin rates and the velos and all that tunneling stuff that has become super big in pitching these days. So everything I asked for, he said yes to. So I feel super lucky about that, and certainly a ton of appreciation for him, giving me the opportunity to do this at 26 years old, and also for his guidance and for his high standards, keeping me accountable and putting our guys in a position to succeed.
So you mentioned only 26 years old, pitching coach, first year at Wagner. What are some of your career goals as you look forward and possibly next steps? Are you interested in is it pitching coach, is it manager, is it MLB, is it staying in college? Where do you kind of see yourself as you grow your career?
I always have a difficult time answering that question. My goal right now is to go out here and get these boys to win a game today. I think as much as it sounds like a generalized answer, I love the game. I love coaching. I love being on the field and getting to work with pitchers and getting to work with guys in a baseball setting. So I think my goals for right now into the future are just to do the best job I can where I'm at, kind of be where my feet are, kind of a thing. And hopefully looking back 30, 40 years from now, we can say that the music took me somewhere good. So
awesome. So I have one last question for you, because I know you got to go throw some BP and get ready for today's game. And I'm a little nervous of your answer just because you are more of a North Jersey guy. But it's big time. Pork roll is big time around here. Are you a pork roll or Taylor ham person?
So I'll give you the controversial answer first, because I identify as a Central Jersey guy.
Okay,
and I know that's controversial in itself.
So everything above where I grew up in South Jersey, to me, is North Jersey. So Trenton is North Jersey because it's north.
Fair. So yeah, I'm definitely a Central Jersey exists guy, but nevertheless, huge pork roll.
There we go.
Proponent.
That's all we needed. Well, Eric, thank you for carving out some time. I know you have a busy schedule ahead. Best of luck not only today and tomorrow here in the final 2 games at Trenton Thunder Ballpark, but of course the rest of the season and of course in your career. Over the time here, it really has, not just for the players, the Trenton Thunder staff, the Trenton Thunder community have looked at Wagner as, this is your home, and we want you to feel at home. So it's been awesome. I know, along the way we've made some great relationships with the coaching staff, the players. You guys were even out here helping us tarp last night, which was just shows the commitment. So we appreciate everything that you guys do on the field, off the field, for us. And we're excited for Trenton Thunder Ballpark to be your home away from home.
Yeah, thank you guys for setting up a great home for us here, and appreciate your well wishes. Definitely looking forward to getting after it on the field today.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Well, good luck today.
Appreciate it.
The Feel the Thunder podcast, the official podcast of the Trenton Thunder, is produced by Liz Sikorsky and Ben Wolverton and recorded live in Trenton, New Jersey. For information on tickets, promotion, and all things Thunder, visit TrentonThunder.com. Subscribe to Feel the Thunder on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your podcasts.